Hello and welcome to Trading 5 Talents. About a few months ago, I made a video basically trying to address the question if I can reduce the amount of risk in my iron fly trades, but still keep the same profit amount by making a few adjustments. So, just briefly, my iron fly trading strategy is using a directional iron fly in which I trade with the trend of SPY using an automated trading bot that I created in Option Alpha. But this particular video is where I take my original settings of my iron fly bot, which is 10 strikes wide with a 10% profit target or a 20% stop loss, and I adjust those settings to see if I can reduce the risk that I have for each trade, but still keep roughly the same profit target. And so what I did in yellow is my original settings. In gray, and the gray column, I just have a 20% profit target. In the green column, it's a 5-strike width iron fly on each side. And then I have a 20% profit target, 20% stop loss. And then in blue, I have a 2-strike wide iron fly with 20% profit target, 20% stop loss. All these are directional iron flies. And when I made this video, I'm asking the question, but I didn't know yet what the win rate would be for these particular bots. So I made a follow-up video, which I show right here. This is just a screenshot of the results that I showed in the video. And you could see that the gray iron fly variation, which was a 20% profit target, but it was still a 10-strike wide iron fly, it performed the best. It performed the best in terms of profitability, but the original yellow iron fly had the best win rate at just under 70%. You could see from this chart as well that the green and the blue variations of this directional iron fly, they didn't do very well at all. They were negative in terms of profitability and had a very low win rate. So in this video, I want to give even more data that shows what these bots have been doing. The first results video, I think, was about 21 to 23 trades per bot, but now I have 50 trades that this bot has run, and I want to show you what those results are now and see if anything has changed with these variations of the directional iron fly. So the original data set that I showed in my previous video regarding this concept, it spanned this length of time. So it was the end of August all the way to October. Again, this was anywhere from 21 to 23 trades per bot. And you can see the EMAs, the 5 EMA, the 14 EMA are plotted here along with the price action of SPY. So this bot only trades SPY. It uses the EMAs to determine which direction to skew the iron fly center strikes in. And so just a summary of the results, they're right here. Again, these are all color coded based on the bot, so you can, keep track of them a lot easier, where the yellow original iron fly bot had a higher win rate, but the gray 20% profit target bot had a lower win rate but a higher profitability, and then the other two, they just didn't do too well. So that was the first set of data. The second set of data is going to span this period of time right now, and you can see there was a lot more movement in SPY going down, and then back up, and this spans all the way to the first week of November. So what were the results for this span of time? You can see them right here. In this area, which spanned about 30 trades per bot, the original 10-10-20 iron fly had just under $200 in profit with a 66.7% win rate. In this span, the 20% profit target bot only had a $69 profitability and less than 50% win rate. And once again, the green and the blue bots, they didn't perform very well at all. Again, all below the 50% win rate. So overall, if we took all the data together, you could see the results are right here. The 10-10-20, $351, 68% win rate. The 10-20-20, higher profitability at $695, but a lower win rate, 56% win rate. The 5-20-20 and the 2-20-20, they're both losing about $200, and they have a below 50% win rate. So the idea of trying to reduce the risk but still keep the same profitability, that test didn't work out at all according to this data with these 50 trades. So based on those results, I'm going to no longer run the bots, the 5-20-20 or the 2-20-20, because they're just not producing what I had hoped they would produce. However, the 10-20-20 and the 10-10-20, so those are still going on paper, and I hope to see a continuation of these results. So let's take a look at the actual trades from these bots. All right, the trades are right here in this Google sheet. So right here in the line graph, you can see there's a break in each of these lines. So everything to the left of the break was the original data set. Everything to the right of the break is the new data. So in yellow, this is the original 10-10-20, $351, 68% win rate. And then, of course, all the other data is listed here. So there are 50 trades, and these orange markings right here in the cells, everything above those were the first data set, and then everything below that comprises a second data set. So 50 trades each. And what's interesting is you could see that it was bullish as denoted by the green dates right here. That means it opened bullish iron flies. If it's white, it opened a neutral iron fly. And if it's red, it opened a bearish iron fly. So it went from neutral green to red to neutral to green to neutral to red to neutral back to green. So it is following the trend. However, it is always a little bit behind, which is why we encounter some of these losses. In particular, this huge chunk of losses right here from the 10-10-20 and from the 10-20-20. This block of losses is it was pretty devastating to the bots and to any directional iron fly bot that or variation that I was running. So these four right here, let's look at October 30th to November 2nd. So we went from bear, neutral, neutral, neutral. All right, so on 10:30 right here, October 30th, it opened up a bearish iron fly because the price was below the 5 and below the 14 EMA. However, the price increased. Right here at 10:31, it opened up a neutral iron fly because it was between the EMAs, but the price increased. Here, it would have opened a neutral iron fly. And then up here, and on 10:2, it would have opened up a neutral iron fly because it hadn't yet crossed at the time the iron fly position was opened. But you can see the strong bullish action of SPY. It really just, took out these neutral iron flies, the bearish iron fly, and then the three neutral iron flies. So what happened right here to make these iron fly positions lose? Well, if we look at the economic calendar for those dates, so right here, the 30th, the 31st, not really anything major going on those dates. But here, starting November 1st, this is when the interest rate decision by the Fed was released, and that just set into motion a huge bull trend. But it really caused losses in the bearish iron flies and the neutral iron flies. But anyway, that's what happened during those trades, and that's why they lost. So where do we go from here? Well, again, I still like the 10-10-20. I still like the 10-20-20, but I also wanted to show you what other people are considering and some really unique ideas that others are putting out there. So if you go to option alpha in the community tab, just search for directional iron fly, and you can see that first search result is the template that I'm showing right now. And that's right here, directional iron fly. So we just click on it. It's a pretty long thread. It's gotten pretty long. So I'm just going to scroll down here to some of the interesting things that are put out by Stefan Wolf right here. And so what he's looking at are 7 wide iron fly strikes. And by the way, 7 wides are the ones that I was doing live for my October challenge, but also looking at different profit targets and stop losses. So a 7-10-10, 7-10-20, 7-10-30, 7-20-20, 7-20-30, and 7-30-30. He's got results here. And then another major contributor to this thread is Taterhead. Between the two of them, they're putting out some really interesting data, and they're really taking a deep dive into the data and seeing what type of improvements can be made from it. Now, one of the interesting things that are being proposed, let's see if we can find it down here. Okay, so down here by Taterhead, so you can see that there has been some losses in my paper bots and these paper bots here with the iron fly strategy. There's a lot of data that has been listed right here with the different variations of the directional iron flies, and it's just really valuable data. But there are some pretty interesting points that are being made right here. So first of all, one of them, and I think we're going to be covering this in upcoming videos, is right here. The trend prediction accuracy is in the low 30s for all of the bots. So the bot just isn't predicting the trend as it should be, or as I originally intended. So what can be changed? There are a few suggestions in this thread of how we can change that, and perhaps we'll be taking a look at some of those in upcoming videos. So some suggestions also that I'd like to consider that Taterhead is listing right here is only go directional. So only skew that iron fly center strike when these conditions are met. With the addition of a 5 EMA. The other thing is that I think we can test really easily in option alpha is there's just no skew. Everything is just a neutral iron fly that gets open, and let's just see how that works. The other thing is using different indicators, the MACD, the ADX, and then the other thing, just buckle up and let the trend settle out. And so that's what I've been doing. And so I have about 125 trades now with the original directional iron fly. I'll make a video to show how that has been doing through these wild swings in the market, and to see if this bot is still profitable and still something worthwhile to consider. So in the meantime, if you want to get started with option alpha, there's a link down below. I'll also link to a video on how you can get a free option alpha account by linking it with Tradier. So if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll try to get back to it as quickly as possible. In the meantime, trade wisely and take care.